Good morning, traders, and welcome to the daily call today, Monday, the 11th of May. Before we get started, as always, please understand that any advice in today's session is of a general nature only and that your personal circumstances have not been taken into consideration. All right, let's have a recap what's happened last week. And of course, on Friday, we had non-farm payrolls where we saw in the US 20.5 million jobs were cut. That's 10 times more than the previous record, which was way back in 1945. That was after World War II, as the economy was halted and had to restart. Unemployment rose to a staggering 14.7%, as the US is definitely feeling the effects of the COVID-19 situation. Now, having said all of that, all those numbers were much better than the forecasted, and consequently, the US yen jumped around about 40 odd pips for the session, now currently trading at 107, and the Dow Jones also had a solid session, putting on around about 400 points for the session on Friday. From Canada, we also had the job data come out. 2 million jobs were lost in Canada, and in the monetary policy, it was announced that they will be extending the wage subsidy program. Consequently, US CAD dropped around about 50 odd pips as the Canadian dollar strengthened against the US dollar. This week, what do we have on our agenda? Well, actually, before I talk about that, let's focus a little bit on our local dollar from Australia. This morning, announcements, not sure if they're official or rumors at this stage, but China wants to impose tariffs on wheat. So how does it affect Australia? Well, we are a major exporter of wheat, and we definitely sell a lot of wheat to China. Increased tariffs would make it difficult or not as attractive, and it will definitely hurt our economy. So this is a direct backlash from China over the COVID-19 investigations that Australia wants to pursue to find out what actually happened and the origins of this virus. Okay, so that's pretty much what's happened last week. This week we will focus on, there's a couple of three major things that are happening. I'll talk a little bit about it later, but before I do that, let's just jump straight into the analysis part of the week. Let's have a look at my charts, and I'll just bring them up right now and we will get started straight away. Let's start off with our Aussie dollar. As I mentioned already, with the Aussie dollar, we had a good week there. There's the evidence for last week. What I'm noticing here is that perhaps I wonder how much resistance may be at this particular level. It's sitting around about the 65.80. What I'm particularly interested in is, let's see if we can break through that. That would be the signal of continuation, but perhaps also look out for some price action reversal to occur in this region. And if we do get that, well, then that would be a signal or an opportunity for us to perhaps take a short trade of some kind there on the Aussie dollar. So just look out for that. We may be able to get something in that. All right, let's move along and let's have a look at our next chart. And the one that I want to look at next is the Euro USD. Okay, I've got some markings already on my charts. Now, the first one is we still have that channel that I had in there last week. Excuse my drawing there, but the channel there. And if we look at that channel where we currently are right now, we're right in the middle of that channel. So we would have to wait for the market to get towards the top to try a short trade, or get towards the bottom, give us some reversal before we could attempt a long trade on this particular chart. Now, what I've also marked in, which is different to last week, is I've marked in this level here, and I just want to see how the market behaves. Let's see if perhaps it does some of this and gives us a bounce off that level. Now, my preferred option for the Euro USD is to essentially wait for the fringes of the channel. The channels generally are much stronger trends are definitely more established in channels. So I'm looking for price action reversals either at the bottom or at the top so that I can take this type of trade. All right, US yen. US yen, I previously had marked out this level here. I've extended it further along and I'm noticing that the market broke through and is coming up to this level right now. So what I'm naturally interested in is, can I produce price action reversal there? If the answer is yes, and I can, well then definitely this is a trade that I would be interested in taking. It would also support the fact that we've been coming down, 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 and continuing down. So this is definitely a good level. Look out for it. This is the hottest chart that I can think of that I can see at the moment on our weekly analysis majors that we do. So US yen, definitely add it to your hot list. Let's look for price action reversal. We are right at the key level. Let's see if this level can now become resistance for us. GBP USD, here's a channel that I marked in for us last week. And when I look at this, we're still within there. There's nothing there. There's no patterns there that are telling me there's some reversal happening. So I'm just going to leave this one be. What I want it to happen is to get up there, give me that reversal, and then attempt to take the trade in this direction. What I'll also do is, I'm just noticing, I'll add one extra marker here. Let's see if this top can become resistance if we reach that on the higher side. Okay, so I'm just going to leave that marker in my chart so that when I come back and have a look at it, I know what I was actually thinking and I can progress from there. All right, move it along. Canadian dollar. Now the markers that I've left in my chart from previous, they've acted quite well. We are approaching this level, so let's see. Perhaps we can get price action reversal in this point, which will give us the opportunity to trade upwards. This one's looking all right as well, the US CAD. So add this one to your hot list and let's see if we can possibly get something out of this chart. Kiwi US dollar. All right, Kiwi US dollar, very similar to the US CAD. It's staying in this range. We are pushing and flirting with the top end, and to be honest, it looks like it's going to perhaps break. And then if that was to happen, well then obviously I'll delete these markers. But at the moment, let's just see what happens. Let's wait one more candle, because if I get the reversal out of these two candles, that would be valid. Okay, so let's wait one more candle. Let's see if it holds. And then perhaps tomorrow we may have an opportunity on the Kiwi US dollar. Oil. Okay, oil. We've heard so many stories on oil. People who have lost a lot of money on oil. Look, oil is different to currencies, guys. Okay, a currency or a currency pair is a comparison between one currency and another. Okay, when you're actually physically buying a share or a commodity, it can literally go down to zero. A currency would be an extraordinary event for it to go down to zero, because it's simply comparing one thing to another. So that differential of rates can vary a lot in both directions. But with a share, you know, a company can physically stop trading and the price of that share can just get halted, or it can physically go to zero. Same as oil. It's gone down and there's so many people who have bought at such a low price expecting it that it can go back up. But essentially, with a leveraged product on top of that, they've come quite unstuck on this particular trading instrument. At the moment, I don't really want to do anything with oil. I'm just going to leave it alone. I've still got this gap here that, you know, part of me, the trader in me says, hey, look, what an opportunity, but is it worth the risk? So at the moment, oil, not touching it. Let's just move along. ASX 200, still trading within that range that we marked out. And what I also want to highlight with this particular instrument is notice the sizes of the candles over here. They're getting smaller and smaller. The trading range for the day is becoming narrower. The market seems to be settling. We're not getting these big candles like we were when the hype and the fear and the news of the COVID-19 was hitting our markets. So at the moment, this particular instrument, I'm still within these ranges. Let's see what happens up there if we get there, and let's see if it gives us an opportunity to trade back down. But otherwise, it's a chart that doesn't really sing out to me. I'm just going to leave this one alone. Finally, last one for the session. Let's have a look at gold. Gold again, we're within the boundaries that we've marked out. We were going up and up and up until we got there, and then we noticed that I drew in that line just to see if it would actually hold for us, and it has actually held. And it's just trading in here. At the moment, there's nothing I can really do other than wait to see what happens on either side of those ranges to see if perhaps we can get an opportunity to trade back within, or if it gives us an opportunity to break out of the range. Okay, that's all that I can see for gold at this present time. All right, so that's the majors for this week, but I won't leave you without a chart of the day. So let me just dig one up for you. And here we go. So this is our chart of the day. And this morning, I have found for us the Canadian yen on a daily time scale. Now, I want to highlight to you the line or the resistance lines that I've drawn on my chart. I can see that the market's come to that level, kicked off, come to that level, kicked off, come to that level, kicked off, and we are at that level again right now. So the question is, if we could produce some kind of price action reversal, and I know I talk a lot about price action, it's predominantly the major method that I use. It gives me a lot of protection. When I get a confirmation of a reversal pattern occurring at a key zone, support or resistance or a channel or somewhere or a point of interest, well, then it increases my probability in trading. That's why I like them so much. So if I can get that price action reversal here on the fringe of that resistance, well, then definitely I'm interested in this particular trade. So add this one to your hot list as well. The Canadian yen daily timescale is our chart of the day this morning. All right. What is happening in the session today? We have one bit of data coming out. It happens at 11 o'clock. It's from New Zealand. It's the ANZ Business Confidence Number. And then things to look out for this week. We have from New Zealand also, and I've mentioned it before, that from RBNZ rates decision and monetary policy is due out this week. We also have locally the unemployment rate. This will be the big one. Let's see what the numbers are for April. And let's see if we're towards that 10%. We'll find that out later this week. And also, finally, the other highlight for the week is from the US. It's the retail sales numbers. Those are the major news movers this week. Guys, this finishes our session for today. As always, please feel free to contact us if you do have any questions. Follow me on Twitter at ChatFX for trade setups and breaking news. Most importantly, hope you all have a fantastic trading day. Have a great trading week. I'll speak to you in next week's weekly market analysis. Bye for now.